Hey everyone, I'm
Hey
Atulya and
everyone.
this is Sonal. We are from Mozilla Durg. Welcome to the fifth session of Web Development Track from Mozilla Durg, KJ Durg, and Developer Student Community presents the Developer Days. Platform partner, DevFolio, authentication partner, Savo Labs, supported by Script Foundation and streaming partner, StreamYards. So let's get started.
So today we have with us Mr. Soumi Ranjan, who is engineering lead at Savo Labs. So let's get Soumi into stream.
Hello, am I
Hey
audible?
Soumi. Yeah,
Uh,
you're
Actually,
audible.
you're not visible.
Hello?
You're
Yeah.
completely audible, but you're not visible. Can you just turn on your camera?
Yeah. I'll do that. Just one moment. Hello.
Oh. Hey,
Is it
Hi.
Soumya.
visible now?
Hey
Yeah,
Soumi.
it's fine.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. Hi,
would you
guys.
like to tell
Hi, Divya.
everyone,
Hi,
like,
Sonal. Good evening.
Hi.
Would you?
would you like to tell everyone that what are we going to do today and anything about Savo? Something in short.
Yeah, surely. So, a very good evening to all the folks who have joined us. Taking out the time on this weekend evening. So, I'm really excited. And so, what we'll be doing essentially is I'll initially take up the session where I'll be trying to focus on what Savo as a product is, and what we do here and what we have built, and the product, how you can integrate it amongst into your hackathon projects that you're building for developer days. So essentially, I think today we'll be taking up the React part. I will be showing. I hosted one of the apps that I built, and I'll be taking you through the code level, and I'll give you the live demo as well. I've hosted it on Netlify, so I'll be doing and showing that. And I'll be highlighting on how as the product functions, and how it is the passwordless way and everything. And then maybe we'll have uh, uh, understanding of how they can reach out anytime if they face any challenges or troubles while integrating the product by joining our Discord community and as well as the developer days channel, whichever way it is. And I think I would like to also highlight the part where I think you folks have already shared the mods here, the particular link to sign up for
Yeah.
them to get that referral code and
Yes.
then
Yeah.
access the dashboard. Yeah. So I think these were the two major things. And apart, then final at the end, we'll maybe take a small Q&A if any. And yeah, I think that would be the overall gist for the session today. Yeah.
Okay.
Also, we would like to
Um,
inform you that you have amazing job and internship opportunities from Savo Labs. So stay tuned for that.
yeah. Mhm. Yeah, definitely. So, I mean, we are surely looking out. I mean, I was keeping it as a surprise for the Q&A, but okay. So we are definitely keeping out and would like to take up a look at, some amazing projects coming our ways, where, we are really excited to see what you folks can build. And in the past, I've had some couple of great, amazing projects come to me. So I had a view and could reach out, how feasible and how viable that was for them as a project and for us, as a use case or something. So
Yeah.
yeah, but I think Sonal gave it away. No problem. All right.
Atulya, are
So
you stuck?
uh,
I guess.
is there some
Okay. So
network trouble?
yeah, I guess from her side. So we are also having an exclusive giveaway at the end. So stay tuned for that too. And now the stage is all yours, Soumya. We are going on backstage now.
All right, Sonal. Surely.
Okay.
Thank you so much. Yeah. So yeah, hello folks. A very good evening to all of you present here. What, as I mentioned in the brief part, key what, how we'll be taking it here, and hope you're all doing well and excited about the same. So I would like to, start off with making you folks aware, and if already not, what Savo Labs is. So Savo Labs is to 1+ year old startup, which was we recently completed a 1 year as a startup existing, and we have built a great product revolving around the passwordless authentication. So these have multiple use cases from projects on a personal level to business level clients. So that's how we've been looking out, and we've been able to integrate with a couple of amazing projects built on several hackathons. We have a couple of clients who have integrated it. So yeah, that's what we have been doing. Also, we have built across a great community over at Discord. I think around 3K folks have already been an active part of it. So we have built something really great there, where we have people who are able to try it out, the product on the first come basis, in the sense that we take it out on the community, we receive amazing feedback and everything. So we it essentially is like a two-way communication, where we get the feedback, we improve our product, we get back, we have announcements, and that's the whole process. So I mean, I think the folks have already shared the Discord link. So I mean, you are always welcome to join it, share your feedbacks, and anything that you felt while integrating Savo. So we are really excited to hear all that. um, so the product, the company, Savo Labs have had several rounds of funding, primarily two, and currently we have built the whole product so far, ranging across stacks. I mean, we're not just targeting web apps in particular, or you're available across stacks, be it mobile, a hybrid app, or a no-code platform, anything like that. So that's essentially how so far we have built it out. uh, for anything relating to auth, whatever we have seen, it's already there on the traditional OTP and passwordless password base. So we have tried to mitigate that part, and remove the redundancy and complexity of the same by making it the password base. So that essentially is what I'd like to highlight and showcase through the project today. um, so to integrate the Savo dashboard, I think if I'm able to, I'll like to share the screen and take you guys through the essential and uh, part of the docs, which is like where you understand what the product is, and how to integrate it. We give out specific docs for each stack, so you can maybe take a look at uh, these steps of integration, then maybe also take a look at the sample app we have linked, or take a look at the hosted project for the same, and that will essentially clear out all the queries regarding the main integration part of the product. uh, Let me just quickly share my screen. um, are you guys able to view the same? I think, yeah. All right. So yeah, now I think it's all there. Great. So I think it's the first step to understanding what Savo is. So you can read it at your leisure, or at any time while integrating the product in your projects. What you can understand is how we are different, how does it work. Essentially it's like the main functionality of the product, if we look at it in a broader descriptive manner, based on how your code essentially will be, how Savo integrates in the backend in parallel, and in the background we authenticate the user at your behalf, and you've returned the payload, which essentially is the data of the signed in user. So I'll be covering more in details as I go further. And yeah, so okay, so essentially these are some key highlights. How are we able to do it all, and how it is critical, and improving the whole experience, not just for the user, but for a client perspective, or project functionality feature as well. So both ways. So for integrations, as I mentioned, we are available across stacks, be it ranging from the web apps to mobile native apps, everywhere. So you have the single page frameworks. I'm sure you folks are already aware about all this. These are a couple of the popular JS frameworks. And here we have the couple of backend libraries or frameworks that we want to integrate with. And we have mobile dev for the native, Android and iOS. We also provide some SDKs around the Flutter and React Native packages for the hybrid app development. And as I mentioned, for the no-code platforms, we are available currently on Bubble and WordPress. Okay, and for if anyone is integrating with a desktop app, especially built on Electron, we can give some functionality out there for as well. So yeah, these are the couple of individual stacks, and matlab, whichever stack we guys want to integrate with, you can just take a look at their individual and respective documentations. Okay, so these quick guides are essentially to make you understand how the current existing traditional SSO based or social logins are different from how Savo logs in the user. These are individual articles, and you can go to the particular docs page and read more about it. I mean, I won't taking it in detail. What I would like to essentially highlight on is the dashboard, which is the main uh, a critical key point of integrating any Savo project for with your project or with with your product. So yeah. Okay, so this essentially is the dashboard. I think the community, developer days of, I think has already shared that link, where you'll get a proper, referral code around the data you're uh, wanting for, and then get several referral codes, and accordingly you can utilize them on your dashboard to avail the auth offer. So yeah, as you mentioned, it is loaded with user guiding to take care of the onboarding process, wherein you start with couple of checklist of steps you want to follow, and make the project according to these steps, in a way that the project is successfully integrated. So once I start with creating my project, I'll be taking a quick demo of the same in a while. But essentially, I first want to take you through the docs part, to make you understand how the whole process is set up, and then show it on the simple basis. So yeah, I mean, we, as I said, we give you out the multiple stacks available for the integration, and you can select either of the one, whichever you are wanting to integrate with, and then proceed ahead. So you have to create your project name, and essentially this is how the whole dashboard page looks for your projects, where you have created your first project, and these are a couple of things which are critical to set up the whole project. um, yeah, and these are the next functionalities on the dashboard available, where and you want to slightly give a additional capability to your existing form, or change something based on your theme, or your UI, or your custom CSS, whatever you're using for your project. Give it a similar feel. So this is how you can do it. There's a section in the dashboard wherein which is forms and fields, and one for the design part. So which as the name suggests, differentiates both the functionality feature part based out and slash your theme part, the UI end. So yeah, I'll be taking that as well. And this is the main for uh, forms and field section. The couple of accordions. Accordingly, you can open one and get into the details of it. Um, so I think I'll be taking this up while I take a look at the dashboard part. This is some of the features that are listed out, and as I mentioned, for the design part, we have the UI capabilities based on your hex code for color formatting, maybe some text, and some toggle to show the icon and everything. So yeah, and once you have made your first project, you can actually take a look and integrate it as well. And while integrating as well, you can take a look at how to customize it, and get the feel of how it will look in your projects. Okay, and this ones are the detailing for how it is different from social logins and SSO signups. The FAQ part is a gem, I would like to say, in the sense, whenever you are trying to integrate any project with Savo, and these are a binded couple of queries, like frequently asked FAQs, which we gotten from the feedback, or we had some roundtables, so we got some request to have a a place where all the questions are bundled, and anyone is first time integrating with it can take a look at it, and maybe just clear out all the queries from here itself. So you can always take a look at this for particular stacks, for functionality feature wise, for setting it up on the your local machine, uh, everything. And this is something which is very essential, the payload which is returned on the client end after a successful sign up or a login, whenever the user is authenticated via Savo. So this is something I'll be taking up in detail. You can have a look at what I can do with the payload if it's the first time for you guys to you have been integrating with Savo. So we give you brief detail steps of how and what you can do in this particular link. And yeah, I mean, yeah, as I said, the payload, so this one is really important. Okay. Yeah, I'll take a short water break, but I think I'm able to make you guys understand how this is important, and every small question, and while integrating how we have shown it. And yeah, so this, I think, Discord, this is the amazing community I was talking about, where already we have around 3.5 users. And this is where you can ask for your queries. You can reach out to us for your feedbacks. We are open for feature requests. We have multiple, several discussions around the same, so you can always join our server and check out the various channels. Yeah. Yeah, one second. So yeah, for the React sample app, essentially the single page application docs, as I've currently you are being able to view it on the screen. This is a small video guide to how to set up the whole project. And essentially, for anyone who's wanting to integrate it and facing some challenges, can always take a look at it, and uh, try to figure out how to make it all like error free, and the project loads out. So, and for that purpose, anytime you can refer it to here. Some basic requirements to set up the project, node versions and npm and all. And then for the steps, we'll be taking out how and when. And yeah, so I mean, I was giving out some time to maybe take a look at it, what it is. So essentially, we load out the component from this part. And these are some of the key checkpointers on highlights, or what you can do to the initial setup of process where you're facing some challenge, what you can do to check it out, make it different, what not to use, and how it can be easily set up. This essentially is the key div part, which is the part where you put it on your project, and the iframe for the whole SAWO authentication loads in. So this is something you take care of, and set it up in your project wherever required. This is a object which is essentially created to take a look at making the object free of the initial setup part of it, where you define what type of authentication you require based on email or phone number. Or this is the part where you put in the API key which you create on the dashboard, and so that'll show it. And this is the Savo container ID, which I mentioned, which loads the iframe into your project. So the ID part to this div. And then you call the instance for it, and you initiate the show form functionality, which makes the form loads into your project. uh, you can then perform on success key if you want to redirect, or store the data into your databases, or pass it to a crm. I'll be taking that up as well. We Okay, so this one is the final output of how it will look on your projects on default thing, without any feature updates or any design changes. So this is how it will look based on your phone number and email part. And yeah, so there is another React component library for it as well in the npm package. You can take a look at that as well. uh, and obviously, whenever you feel like you're not able to figure out, you can take a look at the sample code that is present, and always at the deployed app, which is hosted. And as I mentioned, the Discord link is always open. You can come in, join, seek, ask for any help or anything you face trouble with. and this is for Vue and other components or frameworks based on your preference of choice. I showed it for React here, and then we have the migration doc as well. Okay, so before migration doc, I think I should take this one, which is very critical. What to do with your payload. So as I was showing earlier on the example part, this is the payload, which comprises of these key value pairs inside the object. I'll take it up individually. So, but this is how essentially it looks, the payload which is returned. Okay, so the user ID, it is generated after a successful authentication happens. So this is the user ID part, the time and when it was done, a timestamp part on the authentication. Identifier is like which you set it up for your project, be it the email or phone number based on your request from the config object earlier. And then we have the verification token. You can store it or maintain sessions trying using this one. And if you add extra fields to your project, you get it as a array, and then you can individually store the data that you want to log in from these extra custom fields. So yeah, as I was mentioning, what you can do with the data which you are getting after a successful authentication happens. You can take it to your database, store it there, manage your session. And if you're integrated with the CRM, you can directly pull that data and store it in your CRM for additional purposes like campaigns and all. So yeah, I think I covered this, but I'll be taking it up ahead if possible. We also have docs for migrating, why to migrate from a passwordless traditional password system to a passwordless way using Savo, and also for single sign. Yeah, I mean, I hope I was able to take up the a whole doc session of how to integrate it for several frameworks, and how we provide resources of how you can check it out, and how you essentially integrate it with your project. And as I mentioned, you are always welcome to join the Discord community link, where you can ask for questions, your queries, and maybe if you have some feedbacks, you can definitely share it up there. uh, Next, I think I would want to take up uh, the dashboard. Yeah, so I'll do that. I'll be sharing my screen. Um, yeah, now am I? Mhm. Yeah, now I think you're able to. So yeah, this is the dashboard, which where is where you create your project and set up the requirements based on the framework you want to integrate with, and then set up the final your API key and every part. So yeah, I'll be showing that. So this is how essentially is the passwordless way. I just entered my email and I was able to log in. So this is how the whole functionality will look like. I have made a couple of projects, so I'll be individually taking all the individual sections from the navbar one by one. What I would like to start with is the dashboard. This is where you are able to view all the authentication or the active consumptions for your project, particularly from here. And then if you want to bifurcate data, so you can just take a look at what it was. Oh yeah, so as I think everyone is able to view it, this is on the dark theme part. I mean, I really like it, so I put it here. I mean, this is how it looks on the light theme. So yeah, you can take care of how many number of auths are used based on the month. And this is where you get the data analysis part, where you get how have particular project been functioning on the auth per month basis or something like that. And also we have the number of odds used for the whole plan. I mean, essentially whenever you sign up, you get certain number of odds on the freemium plan. But yeah, as I think the developer days have already shared with the particular link which you can use to use and sign up on the Savo dashboard and get those extra odds for your project creations on these hackathons. So yeah, definitely take a look at that. And yeah, for this we have the upgrade functionality. If you want to upgrade your plan from a current portal, you have a fixed number of odds for the free plan. So if you want to upgrade your plan to shift, and you have more odd requirements, you can always upgrade your plan. Then we have the report, which is like a custom PDF for your daily or monthly usage of the number of odds. So you can take a look at that. And yeah, this is the logout thing. This is the user guiding part I was talking about. You have a certain checklist parts where how to uh, make those first initial steps of creating your project, and you can check out what to do next, and this is available every time. Then I would like to take you through the projects. So yeah, these are the existing projects which I've created. So I can take you through one of them. So this is the project ID, which is specific to the project you create. uh, you can create your project from clicking here. Since I've already made a project, I will be taking this part. This is something, as I was showing in the docs also, you can select your project, which type of framework you're using, then create the project name, and set it up accordingly. So for hostname, this is essentially required for every web app that is built out there for integrating Savo in it. This is the API key which is mapped to this particular hostname. So while creating a project, you are prompted to set up your hostname and project name while creating a web project. And when you utilize this, you are able to set up the whole project. So I'll be showing that part as well. This, yeah. So as I was telling, the added functionality features which you can add in to your particular projects. These were the accordions. If you want, you can enable the reCAPTCHA part in your project. We give out a feature like that as well. If you want to add custom fields, you can do it from this. Add something whatever you want, like a name or age. You can select it, and then accordingly get the return in the added custom field key, which is an array in the payload I mentioned earlier. For yeah, so this one is the advanced configuration part. These are some of the critical features which can be utilized while integrating the project. The first one, the session cooldown, is like you want to maintain a particular user onto your project for a certain period of days. So you can set it up from here. By default it's set to 15 days. You can increase or decrease it accordingly. This is the one time we give out the OTP for the 2FA part. So you can set up a custom SMS you want to send, or from, if you're using email, you can set up a custom preview message for yourself, for your project, in the sense that you get a custom message and your OTP, and then the user can utilize for whoever is wanting to authenticate onto your projects or your sites. There's something called as identifier checkpoint, where you can give out a backend API endpoint here, and you return a boolean, and you can restrict the users you want to on your projects. So this is like a added thing with the sign up process of the Savo. So we have added a functionality here as well. This is the email domain, and this is the email header you want to change in your message for the OTP. And yeah, I think I covered this part in detail because this is important, and you can always take a look at it. This one is for the UI part and the UI functionalities of your project. uh, as I've already selected a project, as you can see, I can change it. I can have a preview, real-time preview of how the project would look like. And you can change your colors, or set up the hex value or RGB, whatever you prefer. And this is the referral part where while you are signing up with the developer days program via Savo, you'll get the code and maybe you can redeem it here. This is the section for it. We have a hyperlink to our docs page where you can always get back and see wherever you're stuck, or refer to it at any point of time while integrating your projects. This is the feedback. I mean, we would love to hear what how you've integrated, and what are the challenges or anything you felt while integrating the project. So we would love to hear that part. And yeah, I mean, back to the dark theme always. Yeah. So I'll just stop sharing, and yeah. I think I've covered the initial docs part of how you can integrate a project for a particular framework. Use following those steps. You have the sample app, you have the reference videos to always take a look at it. Now I think I'll be taking up the sample app and the code step by step, and then we can look out and discuss out some of the key tips of how you can do and should be doing a particular project while integrating with Savo, and how you can maintain version control and all. So we'll taking a small bite at that as well. um, and at the end, I think we would be taking up any Q&A so far, or trying to understand if there were any during the session, and any doubts or clarity we want to build on some point of it. Um, yeah, let me share the screen once. Um, are you guys able to view this? I think, yeah, I think now, yeah. Then, yeah, the project. So this is a sample, project that I've made, and I've hosted it on GitHub. You can always take a look at it, and then try to integrate it as per requirement. This one is built on the React thing, so you can take a look at what I have built it with, what all I've used. I've used React, the Savo password list. For it's a sample IB track project. I will be showing that as well, and how I've built it and the basic things I've used. It's a very simple project. I mean, you can based out on your particular requirement. You can set it up as per your needs. So I mean, yeah, firstly, I think this is very important. This is the git ignore file. I mean, you can always create this one whenever you're maintaining version control on any part, any of your preferred repositories. Whenever you are storing a particular .env file, which essentially holds all the critical values you want to take utilize in your project. So you can always mention that, such that it never gets included into your repositories online. Yeah. All right. So I think I can, maybe take you through the main file, where how I've loaded the project. I've set up the initial title and all. I've called the main libraries for whichever requirement I have get. I think I'm using this one for the maps, which loads into the project. So you can do this and take a look at it. Then I think mainly we have to cover around the several components I've used. I think I've divided it into two parts. One is the map, which loads while tracking. I think I think it would be better once I show out the live thing, and you get some idea of what it is, and then we can maybe come back to the code thing. Yeah. I'll share this. Yeah, I think we're just waiting. If you guys are able to see it. Uh, is it is it visible? I think it's no. Okay, now it is. Yeah. All right. So this is the sample app that I've hosted, and I can quickly try to log in and show you how it happens. Once I've logged into the first part, I'm signing up for the first time. OTP, as I mentioned, for the 2FA thing happens. You can quickly take it up from your email, and it has a default 2 minutes timer. So I mean, within that time you can check it out and mention the OTP for your project. uh, as I do it, it is on the auto verify thing. So as soon as you get the 6 digits of the OTP, it is auto verified. And this is something which is in the sign up part, where you can essentially select whichever browser you're logging in from. If you want to trust this browser and maintain multiple sessions across all projects that are built with Savo, so you can mark it out as per your requirement. And once you do so, this is the default landing page of my project. Whenever I successfully sign in, I'm able to view this part. This is my search bar. It's fetching my current IP, so I'm able to pinpoint on the maps. For this, I've used the leaflet.js thing as I was showing, and I am using geofy IP API, I think, for getting me the IP addresses. So you can modify this, set it out to a different IP. You can see how dynamically it shifts from the current IP to the different one, whichever you want to set it for. And this is a very basic project I was mentioning, as I was mentioning. So it has the three components, as I told, the maps, the search bar, and the main, you know, uh, card section where I show this data. Yeah. This is a simple logout functionality I've maintained. I can, show it quickly how I've done it here. So yeah, as you can see, I've stored the user ID, which is the part of the payload, as I showed earlier in the payload section of the docs part. So I maintain sessions using the user ID, and you can also do that whenever required. And then if you want to store certain email IDs, or the user base, you can take it from the payload and store it directly into your databases. So I mean, as I was telling, key these are the couple of things you can do. If you are anywhere anytime stuck, you can always get back to us on the Discord link. We are actively looking out for folks who are in help, and quickly respond to their queries, so that they are able to successfully log in, and so we can always join there, and increase your reach out to us for any feedbacks. We have multiple channels, so you can always take a look at it. So yeah, I think for the project, I think this is a very small project, so I think more than sufficient. You can always zoom in, zoom out. In these are a couple of the library functionalities, nothing big. So yeah, you have prompted that you will be logged out, and yeah, back here.
So I'm sorry to disturb you, but I think the
Yeah.
repo is private.
The repo is private.
Yes.
Okay. Okay, okay. You guys have already shared the link. Okay, I thought after the session I would be sharing. So in that, I mean, it's all right. I mean, if you guys have already shared, what I'll do is quickly take it out and put it out back to be able to access to everyone. Not a
Yeah.
problem.
Yeah.
Okay. So
Thank
I
you.
mean, are the folks able to? Should I take a confirmation once it's done? I mean,
Yeah, we
should I
will
ping my?
ask from.
Okay, all right, all right. Sure,
We'll
sure, sure.
ask.
Okay. So okay, can I take it up, and then at the end of the session maybe do it? Will that be all right? I mean, I'll it won't take any time, but I don't want to break it right now. I think I was explaining. So for that part, will it be all right?
Yes, yes, yes. Sorry for taking the floor. Yeah,
No, 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 not a problem. It's all right. I was just mentioning if
yeah,
this can work. I'm okay with it. Yeah, cool.
yeah. You can
Uh,
share.
s-
They are saying that you can share afterwards also.
okay, okay, okay. So yeah, so the main components part that I've used, as I was mentioning, one for the maps, setting it up, how I've called, set up the whole leaflet part. Also, you can take a look at the search bar wherein you can type the IP address you want to. These are the essential key points for the particular project. I mean, you can always get back to it if you want to refer for this particular project, and if you want to integrate as per your requirement, you can always do that. This is the main index file, where I'm calling the app. After this, I can, one second, yeah. So if you want to, check out how to maintain the cookie part, you can, use under the use effect, and yeah, this is the main one where integrate the Savo config that I was mentioning, where you use the API key and set up the type of login you want to have, the email. So this is the main part where I would like to highlight on how to integrate the Savo part into your projects. So I define the main ID where I call the div of the ID of the container where I want the iframe to load. Then I define which type of email I want, login to happen, in the sense email or phone number. Okay, I think yeah. And this is how you define it in your env variable, and then call it out into your main API project, so that it's always mentioned. And and once it is done, you can set and maintain your cookies and status. Based on this, you can have the functionality of a session or a logout thing. And mm, I think this can be sufficiently enough. I mean, you can always use your custom CSS if you want to, and build out on whatever icons, images you utilize. I mean, these are something very pertaining to my project, but as per your requirement, I'm sure you folks are already utilizing these frameworks for your project, so you can always get to whatever as per your requirement. uh, I think this will be all for the code end. I would be making it, as I think Sonal mentioned, the repository is currently, I think, private. I was planning to, make it public once the session ends, so you guys can always take a look at it. And yeah, I think that will be all for the code and explaining part of how to integrate it. uh, so you can always check out the docs page, the particular framework you're using, or if you're stuck anywhere, you can always take a look at the FAQ section, wherein all the small I would say hindrances that any first time beginner faced was present. So you can always refer to it. I mean, it's an easy resource. And if nothing works out, you can always reach out to the Savo community on Discord. We have multiple channels, so you can take a look at it and reach out for anything further. Huh. Mm, I think I think that is all for the session as such. I mean, if there are any uh, queries, I think I can take it up on the Q&A session in a while. And once you join in the Discord channel, you'll find there always several mentors out there, tirelessly trying to help out every time wherever there is a query, or you're having some troubles integrating the product. So in any time you can reach out there. We'll be sharing, a resource set of how and when you can refer to, at any time of the project you're facing any challenge, you can always go there and, take a look at it. uh, yeah, I think for now that will be all. Can we have the Q&A now, if that's all right? I mean, if there's any.
Uh, we had some questions in the chat, and
Okay.
uh, Rosie Banerjee wants to ask, while integrating the API to HTML login or sign in, do we
uh,
need DB connections to save data, or it can be done without it?
Okay, so this essentially, I'll take it up in two parts. So firstly, I'll be covering why it is essential if you want it for your particular project. It's not a necessary requirement. Okay, if you want to have maintaining that user records and all, you want to refer to it in any case, in any use case you want. If that is the real thing, you can always maintain it. Otherwise, if you're not interested in the user data, you can, just maintain sessions based on the logout functionality. I think that would be all.
Mm-hmm.
I hope
Okay,
I
so
answered Rosie's question. If there's anything up, I can take it more, like if there's anything further query to it.
okay, Rosie, you can ask more questions in the chat if you have. So moving on to the next question,
Hmm.
Deepak Yadav wants to ask, can I customize login screen UI while working with Savo? Uh,
I guess Somme is stuck
yes, I guess there's a power cut
due
on his
to,
side.
yeah,
So Swami will be back in a minute. Till then, we
yeah,
can just talk about this challenge, because tomorrow is the
yeah.
last day to submit the challenge for the week one, and we are also going to announce the challenges for week two, which will be unlocked after today. So Sonal, should we announce the challenges right now?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. You must announce it.
Okay, so the first challenge is you have to create a simple to-do application using Node.js, and the second challenge will be you have to make a web application using SAWO Labs API. Also, the SAWO Labs challenge will be month long, and you can submit it because this is the challenge by which you'll be getting all the opportunities from SAWO. So make a good web application or any application using Savo Labs. And also, this challenge carries extra points. So please do this challenge and do your best. So all the details will be out, and the form will be out in the chat soon. So any
Also, if you
queries?
have any queries, you can ask in the Discord regarding the
Yeah.
week challenges. We are there to help you. So we are really excited to have Anuj with us, who is a community manager at Savo Labs, and we are going to just started with giveaway of Savo Lab kit. So yeah, we're
Yeah,
going to
hi,
randomly pick
Sonal, hi team.
anyone. Hi.
Thanks, thanks for the introduction. There's a power cut at Soumya's end. He's trying to join in back again soon. As soon, I'm just checking in with him. As soon as he joins, okay, Soumya is here. I guess we can do the giveaway later. We can take the Q&A. We can
Yeah.
continue with that.
Yes.
It's
Yes.
fine. So just move back. Let's move back to the question again.
Yeah, sorry folks about this. I mean, it was really unexpected. I
It's
didn't know
fine.
it would happen like this.
Okay, so the question was, can I customize login screen UI while working with Savo?
Yeah. Definitely, most definitely, Deepak, you can. What you can do is, while you sign up using that referral code, as I mentioned, the folks of Developer Days have already shared. What you can do is you can sign up and then go to your dashboard, create your particular project, set it up based on your functional framework, whatever your requirement is, and then go to the design in the navbar, and you can set it up individual components based on your theme, or if anything, you want to add in for the UI part. I mean, the border colors for your text boxes, anything. I mean, you can do it from that part. I think I covered it in detail, but it's all right. I hope I make it. I think Deepak hopefully understands it and integrates it. Yeah.
Okay, so next question is from Meghna, and
Mhm.
she is asking, will Savo not raise privacy issues?
Okay, so privacy issues in the sense, I would take it up in two parts. One would be, once the user is logged in, we serve your project. So any user who wants to sign up into your project, the data is directly returned to you on the client end. Savo does not store any data whatsoever. So when you integrate that, you can directly, take up that payload. And, as I showed in the docs page, you can take that payload, store it in your database, put it to your CRM, maintain sessions, anything. So that is something which is directly given out on the client end. We do not store it. For privacy issues, apart from this, in the sense, the end user perspective, I showed, initially I gave out the client perspective. Now I am taking up the user perspective. So every user who signs into your project is able to take you through that trusted browser's screen if I showed it while trying to log in, right? So that essentially covers, if and only the user is willing to maintain the browser sessions, he can, maintain it across projects. So I mean, covering both the client end and the customer user end, I don't think any particular privacy issues are, of any concerns whatsoever. Yeah, I think I
Um,
hopefully answered that for Meghna.
Absolutely. So Saurabh Singh is asking, in dashboard, can you show by creating a new project?
All right. Can I do it right now? Will that be okay?
Yeah, yeah, that's fine.
Okay, I'm not sure how I'm on hotspot. I wish. Okay. Sorry for that background noises. I think they're bursting crackers somewhere.
It's all right.
Yeah. Okay, so I'm trying to share my screen, and I think it will be visible. Yeah, I think it is, right?
Yeah, it's visible.
Yes, it is
So
visible.
once I go to my dashboard, okay, once I go to projects, I can select the project type. I can, use any of these platforms I'm wanting to integrate with. Then maybe if I want to create a web project, this Bubble and WordPress are for no code. If I want to create it on the code, writing out code base, so I can use and select code. I can, have these steps to integrate on a basic uh, HTML part here. And once I do this, I am prompted to create my project name and the host name of the project I would want to make. I can just type it dummy project. Since I would initially want to, build it out on my local system, I can, either put it as localhost, or if, the server end is called on the other part, you can always use 127.0.0.1 for the host name instead of localhost. And once I create it, I have prompted, these are the essential keys which are essentially required to store with you. It is a CSV file. You can do that. And once that is done, you're downloaded the API key and the secret key, which is critical to set up your project. What you can do is, for web apps, you can, just make use of this. And I think this is the other app I had created earlier. The dummy project one is this one, which I made currently. So, I mean, it's the same thing. You can always, take a look at the project and, make use of it. I think that should cover it.
Uh, yes, I think it
All right.
covers what he's asked. So
Okay.
let's move on to the next question. So Deepak Yadav wants to ask, how does Savo verify user without OTP or password?
Okay. A good question. Deepak, so as I showed, right? I mean, in the whole process of signing in, I was just entering my email and I was able to log in. So that is the, utility or the experience you get on the passwordless way. On the, part of how it is being done, I'll take that up now. So we are essentially following the cryptographic public key and private key pairing usage utility and trying to maintain a particular private key based out into your browsers or any devices. And then every time the user signs in, or a particular email ID signs in from a particular browser, so we map that with the private key, and we have exchanges. We verify the signature, and once all the processes are finalized, only then we authorize the user. So this is browser or a device based specific way of how we do it. So you can always integrate multiple projects and take a look out at the functionality of this thing. So, did I cover it? I mean, I covered it in two parts, in the sense
Yes,
of
absolutely.
how the end user will be doing it and how you have integrated it. I think that should wrap it up. Yeah.
Okay, so Amit is asking, we have to create a new project and then we have to enter referral code.
Okay, so definitely, I mean, without projects, the referral code make whatsoever no sense. So whenever you are signed up into the dashboard the first time, you would be prompted to create a project. I mean, it's like the only way to make sense of the whole, the intent of the whole journey completes. Like, you logged into the dashboard to create a project and sign up and set up Savo, right? So essentially, once you create a project, you can always go back to the referral part from the navbar and then redeem your code. Yeah.
So next, Saurabh wants to know what should we put as a host name while creating a new project?
Okay, so Saurabh, this essentially is something you have to decide. And if you are, starting, so there is no restriction on the number of projects you create whenever you sign up. All right. So you can, have multiple projects, one maintaining and pertaining to your local development stage, and the other utilized for your hosting purposes. You host it anywhere you want. So based on that, you can, just enter the, just the let's say, for example, if I'm using it on my local host, I can just enter localhost without any https trailing backslashes, colons, anything, just the simple localhost. And if it is running on the other part, you can always use 127.0.0.1 for the local development I'm talking about. And if you're hosting it on a production thing, let's say a Netlify app or a Heroku app or a Versal thing, what you can do is just take up the main URL wherever the project is hosted and put it there. I mean, without any slashes and HTTPS. Yeah, I think that should be totally based on your preference of how you want to set up your project. So I think, yeah.
Uh, okay, so next question is from Saurabh. What should we put as a host name while creating a new project, and is it necessary to give a host name?
Yeah. So sort of definitely it is necessary, in the sense, how else can a particular iframe be, loaded into your web. So, okay. So what I'll do is, for web app, the host name is something where you, stage or, host it. So that is where your project runs, basically. So that is essentially to, map it to that particular project API that you create on the dashboard. And like, this is the feature functionality, how it is loaded, mapping everything up. And once that is set up, you can always try out the other frameworks. Let's say, for mobile apps, we do not necessarily require hostname, because there's nothing as a hostname running on an app thing, right? So what you can do is, for that, you only require the project name, and that is it. I mean, that is sufficient enough to set up for a mobile thing. So based on what you are wanting to create, if you want to put the host name, it will be prompted. If otherwise, it won't be prompted. So yeah.
Amazing. So next question is from Meghna. If we log in through Savo on one website and save the browser, and if we try to log in on some other website, will we be asked for OTP again?
Okay. So essentially, if these two projects, have integrated Savo as, individual projects, they essentially would not require the OTP again for the second project, wherever he or the user is trying to log in, once it is already asked once for any other project maintained on that particular browser. Was I clearly able to tell it? I mean, should I repeat it? Maybe. Uh,
Uh,
I'm not sure. Is she clear? I mean, is Meghna able to understand what I'm trying to say? I just want to
yeah.
like.
So, Meghna, if you're having any further doubts, just ping in the chat and you can ask further questions. So, if anyone had more questions, please let us know in the comment section. And okay, Amit, this is the last session of WebDev for this week. Yes, it is. Okay, so
Other day we
Sudhanshu,
have some more questions. Yeah.
yeah. Okay. So Dhanshu Sharma is asking, like if a phone is registered already in SAWO database, then that can be used for registered fingerprint scanning, etc.
Uh, okay, so essentially, there is, uh, uh, there is no registered thing in through the database. What we are getting is a particular player ID. Okay, that is only in case of developing for mobile apps. So this is essentially a player ID which is mapped to that particular email whenever you try to log in from the phone device, and that is used to notify you every time you have a secondary device trying to log in. That essentially is added with the trusted device functionality, the mobile dev environment. So you have this passwordless plus the trusted device. So whenever you want to mark a device trusted on the mobile device, you mark it as trusted, and every time you try to do it from the same email ID on a secondary basis from any other place, or be it a browser or another device, you are prompted with a notification. And once enable the user based on the yes and no part, only then the authentication happens on the secondary end. So, I mean, the whole fingerprint part is essentially triggered through the capabilities of the device level, in the sense that, if you have the fingerprint enabled on your device for your screen lock thing, only then it is, picked out, and, you're able to authenticate with the biometric and the passwordless way of the infrastructure, as I mentioned, right? The public key, private key part. So that is essentially covering the whole feed of functionality of it. I mean, the fingerprint and the public key and private key part. So, I mean, I did cover the whole thing. I'm not very, the question was kind of not clear in my understanding, but I try to cover both the things I could, relate to this question. I hope I answered.
Yeah. So next we have Subhashai, and he wants to ask, can we store some user data to Firebase while registering? And if an app already using authentication Firebase, can we integrate SAWO?
So yeah, you can definitely integrate Savo with it. But if you go for the essential user you want to already migrate from your current Firebase thing to log in through Savo, you can maybe just import the data wherever in the Firebase, and map it to once it is logged in from the Savo part, the payload, and you can accordingly maintain key. Okay, this user already had existed, and you can migrate all the data you want to store from Savo with this existing data you have on your Firebase thing. So uh, did is Shubhash I able to follow what I'm trying to tell him? I think
Subhashai, you
that's
can
how you can
just
do it. I mean, on my top of the head, I could think in this way. Yeah.
mhm. You can just ping if you have further doubts. So next we have Avinash Dubey who wants. Okay, so it's
I mean,
Avanish Dubey, and he wants to
otherwise,
ask where we
they
can.
can always
Yeah.
reach out on the Discord link, as I think you're going to.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Even the Savo Discord is open, and our Discord is open as well. So you can ask your doubts anytime. Next, we have Amanish Dubey, and he wants to ask where we can see our project after creating that.
After creating that. Okay, so once I think I did share the screen, right? I showed in where how you can create the whole process of selecting your framework of preference, selecting the platform you want to build for, and once you follow the whole process, under the navbar section of projects, you are able to list out all the projects you have created. Okay, and
Yes.
once you click on that particular project, you are able to view the particular project details, the API key, the whatever the essential part for the project details. So that is how where you can see it under the project section of the navbar. Yeah. Oh
Uh,
yes, most definitely. Without goes without saying.
Okay, we have some question update from Subhashai, and he says, "Yep, I got that, but I have another doubt. What will be the host field for Android apps?"
Okay, so as I said, right, I mean, once you select the particular platform of Android while creating a project, the host name won't be present while creating the project. It would only require you to enter your project name, and the project would be created. So essentially for there, we utilize the secret key, which is the download part. I think I showed, right, once you create the project, that key download CSV file. So that's the only requirement for setting up on the mobile development frame platform of use. Yeah.
Yeah, and I'll just say that Soumya will be back again tomorrow for mobile app development. So you can ask more doubts tomorrow too. So do we have more questions? Right, we have more questions.
Yes,
Hari
Okay.
Atulya, we
Krishna
have many
Rai,
questions.
uh, Hari Krishna Rai wants to ask: do we get the user info database of registration?
User info database of registration. Okay, so Hare Krishna, we at Savo, once you integrate Savo, all the data of every user who comes into your website or web app is given out in the payload itself at the client end. So Savo does not essentially store any data whatsoever for any user who tries to sign into the integrated app. I mean, there's no data being stored at Savo's end. You can maintain your own data while logging all the essential field data points you require, be it name, email IDs. So accordingly, you can store it back into your database wherever you want to keep it in the local system, server, whatever. So I think that I answered.
Okay, so Chris Chopra is asking, how does Savo maintain that level of authentication? Like, if not entering OTP or password again.
Okay, so I think I covered part of it, as I told, like the private key. As soon as the OTP verification is done, the 2FA part, okay, one time OTP, a private key is dropped into that particular browser, and that particular browser private key, along with browser details, along with the host name, the API key, and everything, maintains a proper signature which is verified at our server end at Savo. Whenever that process of uh, login, once you enter your email, there's a endpoint API call. Okay, then you enter your OTP, there's another API endpoint call. And once everything is done, you mark your browser as trusted, there is another one. So maintaining all these three different API calls, we are able to uh, maintain the server interactions, we are able to verify it, and once everything is successful, we are able to I mean, give out the payload of the data which is being successfully logged in, and you can store it and utilize it. So that's how we do it. I think I covered that. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yes,
Okay,
absolutely.
so Sudhanshu Sharma is asking, do the device get registered permanently or temporary time? Like, if I will close the app, do I need to log in again?
Okay, so okay, this okay, I think it's a two-part question. So I can take it up, one at a time. The devices do not get permanently registered if you're talking about on the web app part or the browser part. Okay, by default, I think it is set up for 15 days on the dashboard end. From the advanced configuration, you can maintain it as per a requirement. That is the key part to it. And once you are talking about login, I mean, that is different in the way ki Savo returns the client payload, right, of the end user who has logged in. So you can maintain sessions based on your feasibility. If you want to keep it for 2 minutes, five, like, that is something, login logout. See, because logout is something which is user dependent, or anyone trying to integrate the project. We do not essentially provide any functionality feature for it. So you are essentially required to do it at your end, and accordingly maintain the logout and login functionality. So that's it. I mean, that's how you can do it.
Atulya, you are mute.
Okay, so I didn't notice that I was mute. Okay, so
Acha,
next question.
what happened? Sorry, I missed something.
I was mute actually.
Acha, acha, acha,
And she was
acha.
just reciting the question.
Yeah. Okay, so next Deepak Yadav is asking, if I want to verify user from my own backend, can I pass user credentials from front end and verify at Express server? What credentials should I pass?
Okay, so if you want to maintain it from your own, server end, what you can do is you can just pass in one of the keys received from the payload to one of the API calls from Savo, wherein you will get a particular response of the object. The essential identifiers which are returned on the client end are hashed and given as a response. So you can just verify the verification token, or maybe the user ID part, to see, okay, the return response from here and the one you got from a client end are matching. So that's how I think you can do it. That's how I could think of it. And yeah, I think I covered both the parts, right? I mean, which creds, and yeah, I hope that is making it easier for Deepak to understand. Yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Okay, so do we have more questions?
I don't think so. We
Questions
have
are
covered
like
all the
never ending.
questions. Yeah.
Finally.
So
Okay,
are there any more
so
questions? I guess no.
I guess no.
We can just move
Yeah.
on for giveaway.
Yes. So let's have Anuj on the screen.
Hey Anuj.
Hi,
Hey.
I'm back once again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it was a really interesting session. You guys had, many nice questions. I guess even Soumya would agree. The questions were really nice. And I guess it's time for the giveaway. Everyone has been waiting for that. So I was thinking of a random giveaway that out of all the people who have commented, I'll select, like a few people out of random. But after seeing, the questions, so I guess what we can do is that Soumya and me will select, one person each, depending upon the questions they had, and we can give a random giveaway to the people who asked some questions, so that it shows them, okay, even asking questions can get you some goodies. So they'll attend the next
Absolutely.
Yeah.
session. It's a way. So it gives
Asking
a
good and quality questions.
exactly.
Yeah.
That's what I was gonna say. Asking good questions can result in some giveaways, random goodies, and I guess you guys are also gonna do some random giveaways, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Soumya, you there with us?
Yeah. Hi, Anuj. Good evening.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hi. The session was really nice.
All right.
So, out of all the questions, do you have any preferable questions that you really liked it, and like, okay, Anas, let's give, this person a Savo community box.
Okay, you're putting me on a very tough spot, because I mean, all the questions that were asked around were really amazing, and I
Yeah,
hope I was able to take up and answer a couple of them in detail. And if otherwise, please reach out to us on Discord. I mean, I know it's not very easy to grasp everything on the first go, but yeah, definitely anytime you're feeling that you're not able to integrate, reach out to us on the community. Yeah.
that's the
I
thing.
mean,
Now, I
Anuj,
didn't
you
want to
decide that.
be
I mean,
alone
this
in
I
that
cannot
situation,
do. I
so
mean,
that's why I'm
we
putting
let
you
Atulya
together.
and Sonal do it. I mean, can you guys do it for
Anuj is
me?
clever. Okay, so let's see who's the lucky person
Lucky
here.
one today.
Yeah. Thank you so much, guys. Appreciate it.
Soumya, you're forgetting to select that person. You have to select. You'll be selecting one. I'll be selecting one.
Arey, I thought these guys were doing it for me, Atulya and Sonal.
No, actually, they are doing another giveaway. We are doing a separate
Acha.
giveaway.
Yeah.
So there are
Okay.
two giveaways here. So basically, we four people will be selecting four different people for giveaways.
Oh, okay. Wow. It gets interesting. Okay.
I have mine selected. Like you can go through the comments. I have selected mine.
Uh, okay, I'm not able to pick one. Uh,
This is a really difficult situation.
Yes,
It's
it
nice
is.
that Soumya is here, or else I would have,
Okay,
had.
can I give it to? I mean, can I give it out to? Uh, and I'm just scrolling, and I mean, a lot of folks have asked questions.
Come on,
Uh,
Soumya, everyone is waiting. It's like, KBC's final answer.
अरे अरे
Should we
अरे
run a countdown?
no 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 no. Uh, let's give it to Bhavesh. I think I don't know Bhavesh. I think he asked.
Are you talking about Bhavish Goyal?
Uh, okay, I do not remember the name exactly. I think the question which I could remember recall was how to you're maintaining like how it happens at Savos, and I mean how the without OTP and passwordless way. That particular question I could remember. I could not recall the name of the person who asked this question, but the question I can recall. I mean, I think it was Bhavish. I'm not sure. So whoever asked this
I
particular
guess
question.
it was Bhavish. I guess the developer days team could confirm that,
Yeah.
who asked this question going through the chat. And the person which I selected is Meghna Singh. She asked around 2 to 3 questions. They were pretty on point. And like those are the questions sometimes, other developers do some brainstorming around that on our VCs. So for me, it's Meghna Singh. And I guess for Soumya, he has already shared the winner. I mean, the developer days team can just confirm. So what will happen, guys, now? Developer team would get in touch with you, or I'll say that you get in touch with developer team, because there might be many Meghna in the server, right? So it would be great if you
Yeah.
could reach out to them. And the next one is Bhavesh. Yeah, I found the question. I guess it's Bhavesh. Yeah, Bhavesh Goyal. So we have two winners here, Meghna Singh and Bhavesh Goyal. Guys, you can get in touch with the Khaled or Developer Days team. Okay. Yeah, you guys can get in touch with Developer Days team. That's our giveaway. And as Soumya mentioned, Savo Labs hire every time. So don't make this project just for the sake of you are learning and building it. Give everything you have got. Build cool projects, cool ideas. If you guys wanna do brainstorming that I'm trying to build this, but I don't have any idea and how to do that, we can come up on a VC. We can discuss it, because your projects would showcase your skills, and the resume would be a secondary thing here. So build good projects that would increase your chances of getting hired at Savo Labs. And yes, the tech team would go through all the projects which you guys are going to submit to Developer Days team, and which would be coming to us. We'll be selecting a few projects as the winner, as they have already mentioned in their website and everywhere that how the winners would be selected on the basis of leaderboard and everything. And apart from that, if the projects are good enough, we'll be happy to take you guys through the interview process and see which role fits you the most, and how it goes away, how it can go away. And apart from that, there are a few people who are sad because they didn't get the giveaway. No worries, guys. Tomorrow we have another session.
Yeah.
We'll be doing few giveaways in that. So come up with your questions you want to ask. And this is not the only way to get a exclusive Savo box. I don't know how many of you know that we just don't send us like a single T-shirt or something. We have a big community box. It's a very cute black box. You can find it on LinkedIn. Just type hashtag Sabo and you'll see many posts there. It's a very cute little box with 4 or 5 items. So there are many ways to win that. Keep attending different sessions. Keep attending different uh, initiatives which Savo Labs have. Keep participating in sessions like these. If you guys, after using the Savo API, if you have any feature request or feedback for Savo team, ki hey, tech team, it would be great if you could, do this, and it would make this product, more amazing. Feel free to do that, and if it's approved and it goes ahead, you will get a giveaway for that also. And we don't have a giveaway, we have different kinds of token of appreciations for the community. It can be an Amazon voucher, it can be a referral to any of the fan companies depending upon the skills, anything. So SAWO champs program, exactly. So I guess that's it from my end. I guess the session has been done. We have done the Q&A as well. We have done the giveaway. So I guess I'll hand it over to the host, Atulya and Sonu. Over to you guys.
Yeah. Okay, so why not let Anas decide the Bitcoin winners? So what we did yesterday was we just asked the speaker to pick a random number between let me see what are the total submissions. Okay, so we have 60 submissions today on the form. So just choose a number between 1 to 60 and that would be the Bitcoin winner.
That's pretty you know a
Lucky.
weird thing. Lucky draw sort of. I
Yeah.
feel like we're gambling here right now with Bitcoin. I guess Soumya was the speaker. So Soumya, you can go ahead and give out your favorite number, and then these guys can check the database and finalize the winner for the Bitcoin giveaway.
Okay. uh, I, I, what I'd say, I think,
You have to choose a number.
yeah, I mean, there's no
See,
particular favorite number.
that's a difficult task. When someone asks you to choose a number, that's a difficult task. It's just a number, but still.
I don't know, 13 maybe.
Okay, Sonal, can you just check?
Yeah. 1 second. It's Arvaz Khan.
Congratulations, buddy.
Okay, so the next
Give me
number.
next number.
Next, I have to choose.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. By the way, how many numbers do we have to choose?
3 more.
Three more.
Yeah.
Okay, so Soumya, you can think of any number, and I'll give two numbers. One is my birthday, that's 9, and the second one is the birthday of Savo, 28. These are the two numbers from my end. Soumya, you can think of
Okay.
any number and tell them.
So they are
Um,
Satyam Lachwani, if I'm right, not pronouncing the name wrong. And the next one is Aman Kumar Singh.
Congratulations, guys.
So one more remaining, right? Let's
Come on, Soumya, you
come
can
on.
do it.
Come on.
um, uh, 17, I guess.
Okay,
Okay.
it's Avnish Dubey.
We have 6 giveaway winners. Congratulations, guys. You are the owner of
Congrats,
Savo
everyone.
community box and few cryptocurrencies now.
Yeah.
Okay, so
I
this
saw a question here that whom to reach out. Guys, you can reach out to any one of the organizers of developer days. You can reach out to your favorite Khalid sir. Khalid OP, everyone says that every time. Whenever I see any of your sessions, you can reach out to Sonal, you can reach out to Atulya, any.
Yeah.
just I had to announce about the challenges one more time. So the second week challenges are up, and the team will send you the form in the chat box. So there are two challenges. One is create a simple to-do application using Node.js. This is a week-long challenge, and the second one, that is make a web application using SAWO Labs API. It will be month-long and carries 5 extra marks. So don't miss this challenge. And the deadline for the week-long challenge is 12th of September, and the deadline for the first week, which was going on, is tomorrow. So do it on time and don't miss the marks for the leaderboard.
Yeah.
Uh, I would like to make a special announcement here. So, guys, what happened when I was, in touch with the developer days team? There was a fixed number of goodies, which we were gonna do as a giveaway for the events and initiatives. So right now, I'm changing that a bit. Everyone who completes the month-long challenge, and there's a certain level of innovation behind that, would also receive the community box. I guess this can give you a certain excitement. There's a week challenge. That's one thing. If your month-long challenge or month-long project is really good, it has innovation, and you're not just making it for the sake of project, but you're thinking at a product scale, and think it in a way that it can be launched into the market.
And something
So
out of the box.
exactly, out of the way, out of the box. I was not getting that term when I was
Yeah.
telling. Out of the box thinking, everyone would get Savo giveaway. And if the projects are really good enough and you guys are thinking it to take it into the market, as a product, we will be really happy to select the few projects, and provide the subscription fee for the app store and play store. Along with that, for the web apps hosting, we'll be happy to take care. But yes, the project should be good. It should have innovation. It should you out of the box. The whole project will be judged by our tech team and the product team, and then we'll move forward with that. So right now I saw so many people active, and these challenges adding on. So I just thought to like make an exception and add this into the bucket of what we say rewards from Savo Labs.
Yeah.
You can see the excitement in the chat box right now.
Yeah, I'm seeing that. I'm
Yeah.
seeing that.
Okay, so I think that's all for today, right? So
Yeah.
thank you so much, Anuj and Soumya, for coming here. And we are waiting to see you again tomorrow. So
Sure.
that's it for today. Thank you so much for joining us for the fifth session of the web development track of Mozilla Durg, KJ Durg, and Developer Student Community presents the Developer Days platform partner, DevFolio, authentication partner, Savo Labs, and supported by Script Foundation, the month-long celebration for developers. Thank you so much and have a great day ahead.
Thank you and bye everyone.
Bye bye.
Thank you so much, guys. You've been amazing hosts.